Here's everything that I built in the last 30 episodes. I ended up building another one of my vehicles, but this time the purpose of it was a sulfur replication cube vehicle. And what it basically was, after the update came out, I ended up going to the sulfur caves, got myself a few sulfur and cinnabar blocks, made my way back home, and decided to make this entire sulfur vehicle with a sulfur geyser on the top, just to make a place where I can basically replicate the sulfur cube itself. And it has turned out quite great. It matches up quite well with the bamboo planks that I had used for my stables. And if I make my way on the inside, it's just as easy as skilling this thing. It's going to split and then grow up, and then I can get one of those in a bucket like I've already done so quite a few times. But the key part of the structure was basically the geyser thing, because most of these kind of vehicles that I do end up building aren't that different from each other apart from the farm inside of them. So yeah, that was pretty cool. The next structure that I ended up building was with cinnabar, because it was new. So I ended up using cinnabar, netherrack, and raw cinnabar to make this structure, which is basically just a sulfur spike farm. Now I wanted to give it a feel like it was made out of rotten flesh, and it does look like that. The raw cinnabar does have that particular look that makes it feel like it's rotting, kind of like the old netherrack that we used to have. But nonetheless, if I make my way on the inside, the first thing that you are going to notice if I look up is that there are teeth and a tongue. So I basically wanted to make it feel like that not only is it rotting, but it is or was at least actually a structure that was at some point alive. So I basically added some teeth and um, tongue to imply that it was trying to eat you up. And like I said, so the purpose of it was that it's a sulfur spike farm. So underneath is kind of like a dripstone farm, but just replaced with sulfur spikes that's just running and producing it. And they are like coming up into this barrel right over here. And then I can use this sulfur spike to turn them into sulfur blocks. Then I can turn the sulfur blocks into the potent sulfur, but that's not the point. The interior is quite basic. I didn't end up doing anything that special. You have your reading area with a computer, a hot tub, a few chests, a few barrels, stone cutter here and there, and that's kind of it. And there is potent sulfur inside of the hot tub, so if you do end up sitting, you're going to get nauseous, which I do know some people end up liking. And yeah, that's kind of it.